And that's how it's going to be. How about that? Is that 3 fit?
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So it is 2024 and one particular channel is still making a thumbnail regarding Kai Greene's comeback, as you guys can see right here. Now of course it is their channel and they are free to do whatever they want to. So let me take you guys the memory lane. So up until 2020, the talk of Kai Greene's comeback would get the maximum traction and most amount of views because it generated so much engagement. But truthfully, the bodybuilding fans in general were so sick of the promises that he made over and over again that he's eventually gonna come back, or hinting about coming back. And eventually the whole bodybuilding community just decided to not talk about Kai Greene at all. And right now, at this very moment, no one really cares about Kai Greene, and of course his comeback as well, because that's just not happening. Do you guys remember when was the last time Kai Greene stepped on the stage? It was back in 2016, when he won the Arnold Classic, against one of the best Cedric McMillan that we ever saw. May he rest in peace. So it has been more than 8 years since Kai stepped on the stage, since he did a bodybuilding show. So only a delusional person will think that he still has a chance against the top guys of today who are so young and so hungry, versus Kai Greene, who is going to be turning 49 next month. Now, don't get me wrong, Kai Greene is one of the best bodybuilders that we ever saw in the last decade or so. And even Heath himself said that if it wasn't for him, Kai Greene would have won at least 5 or 6 Mr. Olympia titles. But it is really just sad and unfortunate for all the bodybuilding fans that he walked away from the comparative bodybuilding at the prime of his career. So after the fireworks that we saw at the press conference in 2014, which were some of the best moments at Mr. Olympia press conference ever, fans impatiently waited for another battle in 2015. But sadly that did not happen. But all that being said, he's still a 3 times Arnold Classic champion and 3 times runner-up at the Olympia. And that is still a very good career. But I think we can all agree it could have been better than that. Because almost all the bodybuilding fans believe that eventually he would have won the Olympia.
Give me 3 facts as to why Kai can't beat you on stage. 2011, 2012, 2013.
The current size of Keone Pearson at 226 pounds, about 18 weeks out of this year's Mr. Olympia, is just scary. He was weighing below 200 pounds last year when he won his first 212 title. But then again, I have to say weight doesn't really matter, either for him as well as for Sean Carrera. There are guys out there like Angel Calderon and Ahmad Ashkenani in the first call out who have difficulty in making the weight. They have to come down to 212 pounds to make the weight cut off. And then we have our reigning Mr. Olympia in 212, Keone, who weighs in the 190s on the stage, and Sean Carrera, who weighed 172 pounds in 2022. And that, I think we can all agree, was easily the best package of his entire career. So Keone will definitely be a few pounds heavier this year, compared to 2023 of course. And this is only gonna make him a lot more dangerous, and a lot more freakier. He has already shown us that he has this ability to get bigger, without blowing up his waistline, while keeping all his aesthetic lines in check, and actually in that process enhancing his V-taper. Because Keone right now in the 212 class looks way more impressive than he ever was in classic physique. And for those of you guys who do not know, he actually competed at the classic physique Mr. Olympia back in 2019, and he actually placed 4th behind George Peterson. May he rest in peace. But I think all of us can agree he looks a lot better in the 212, because he is just a bigger version of what he was in classic. And if Keone is able to defend his title this year, which seems very likely, he is gonna solidify himself as the next dominant champion in the 212 class. Because there is just no one else out there who can actually beat him. And yes, I know Sean wasn't at his best. He wasn't at his 100% at the Olympia last year. And Keone wants to beat everyone, including Sean, at his 100%, to prove it to everyone that he is, after all, the best in the game. And we are talking about a guy who is eventually gonna be a men's physique competitor. He said so himself that he wants to end his career in the Open, and he might compete in the Open as soon as the Arnold 2025. Next up, we have a physique update from Mohammed Foda. So considering that the man has been traveling a lot recently, he looks really good right now, but at the same time he announced that he won't be doing this upcoming European tour. he won't be competing either in Spain or Portugal Pro as well, which is kind of a bummer because we were all hoping that he would enter multiple shows this year and put himself out there. Plus the fact that he looks so good right now, he can easily be ready. And the fact that he has done just 2 shows ever since he won his pro card back in 2019. He made his debut back in 2021 and he has done just 1 show after that, which was Romania Pro last year. And he actually was extremely impressive at that show as well. And I believe the progress that he has been able to make since then, that has been so exceptional. That has been super impressive. So he's a young guy and time is on his side. But the fact that he turned pro back in 2019, it's about time he wins his first pro show and steps on the Olympia stage. And maybe I am talking a lot about Muhammad Foda on this channel, but the fact is he is just so great. He has such an amazing physique. He has plenty of muscle and he flows extremely well. And I do believe when he peaks 100% right, he's gonna make a lot of noise and he is gonna turn a lot of heads in the pro ranks. So people just don't call him the next big thing for no reason. The people around him believed that he was destined for greatness, just like Big Ramy was. And both of them are from the same region, Egypt. So let's see where he competes next. And hopefully he will qualify for this upcoming Mr. Olympia and see where he stands among the current roster of open bodybuilding. Next up is the physique update of California Pro champion Tonio Burton. So he is up 20 pounds since winning Cali Pro. So Tonio weighs close to 220 pounds on the stage, which is just so amazing because he looks a lot bigger than that, especially when he turns around for those back shots. He is just way too good in those shots. So we did saw that there was a lack of size between Tonio Burton and Nick and Martin Fitzwater at this New York Pro just a few weeks ago, especially in the front shots. But from the back, it's altogether a different story. And we saw something very similar at the Arnold Classic South America as well, where he made Rafael Brandao look all soft and kinda narrow in these back shots. So the way forward for Tonio Burton is obviously to keep on packing more muscle and more size in all the right areas. But that is gonna take some time. So Tonio Burton just qualified for the Men's Open Olympia for the 3rd consecutive year, and actually 4th consecutive year if we consider his debut in the 212. But this year in the Men's Open class, he is gonna be truly tested, especially judging by how this year's lineup is turning out to be. It is absolutely stacked. So he is very reminiscent of the Blade, Dexter Jackson, and Dexter got bigger over the years, but he also did it extremely slow, and eventually he became Mr. Olympia. So Dex himself says that he never believed that he would win the Olympia one day, because the guys he looked up to, like Flex Wheeler, Sean Ray, Kevin Levroni, even these guys weren't able to accomplish that. So Tonio Burton, I'm sure, is gonna keep on packing more size, more muscle in all the right areas and in a slow manner, while maintaining all his classic lines, which makes him so unique. Lastly, I have a classic physique update for you guys. Stephane at 4 weeks out of Portugal Pro. Now, this is what you call truly flat, but keep in mind, this update was taken fasted on an empty stomach in the morning. So with a pump, he will look like a totally different bodybuilder. But yes, there is a clear sign now that he is now in that suffering zone. And yes, I totally agree, he looks exceptional. He looks really good right now. And his current coach Patrick is still doing a great job, keeping that muscularity intact. But the fact is, if he still has to lose another 9 or 10 pounds from this point, the way he is looking right now, then it is eventuality that he is going to be losing some muscle and he is going to be losing a lot of fullness. So the question is, how much of that fullness can he maintain after he is done making the weight? Because Stephane in the past, he looks the worst just the day before the show because of no water and minimal food intake. So right now Stephane is still looking super strong in the gym. His quads are all feathered up, so conditioning won't be an issue for him, especially at this year's Portugal Pro. But I do believe he looked extremely impressive at the same show against Michael Double last year. So for Stephane, it is a matter of retaining all that fullness, because conditioning isn't the issue for him. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.